And here again you can see this y is a odd function and you are integrating -1 to 1, so this part is 0. So and this is a even function of y like this 1. So this integration is like 1 by 4 into 2 times, and like I am doing integration also y and limit 0 to 1, 0 to 1. So like you will get in the end 1 by 2. So this is the way you calculate your marginal from. So I received one answer. He has not mentioned his name, but we calculated right for x, but I think for y it is wrong because the same thing is for y also. So like those who have calculated now f y equals to 0, that should be also 1 by 2 because the same integration you are doing. Now the variable of integration is x. Now the next one is, so like that sum of u is done like integration from -infinity to x. So in that case you have to, because you are integrating -infinity to +infinity, and here there is no relation is given between x and y, so the limit of integration is always -infinity to +infinity, and when you substitute the value of f of x y, it is like -1 to 1. So in the end your answer is correct, but like in the middle you have written this the limit of the integration -infinity to x. For that this marks will be like deducted. And if the same mistakes is done by more than 2-3 students, then 0 marks will be given, no step marking will be there. So you can see that there is the problem. So like if I want to calculate for y also, the same thing I will do. This f f y y to calculate this one, I integrate from x goes to -infinity to +infinity f x y x y dx. So from this knowledge, you know that it will be like from -infinity to 0. This is 0 because its definition is like this. Sorry, no, not from -infinity to -1. And from -1 to 1, its definition is 1 plus xy by 4. And then again for the another domain 1 to infinity, it is 0. This is the way fxy is defined. This is the definition. So you can say this part is 0 and this part is 0. Only you have to calculate integration of this part. And the integration of this part is again here it's a odd function of x, so its integration is 0, and this is even function of x, so it will be 2 to 0, 2 times 0 to 1, and finally you will have this 1 by 2. So it's like a nothing new is there, it's like a integration, and if you don't know the integration then it's a problem, because till now this is the like concept new to you, this is the definition of calculating marginal from joint density function. But after that, it's your basic integration that you already learned in your 12th or maybe in your engineering also. And if you are not able to solve this integration, that it means you have to take care of this, because it's integration and all. You have to know how to integrate and how to identify the domains also. So um, so like this you have to do. So in full calculation is there, and like if I give the same question to the exam and some of you write like this, I will give zero because I don't know the value of this one is this. Okay, you have to show me all the procedure how this is coming one by two. Now we come to the concept of this, and this is conditional. Why conditional x? And we have to calculate like this. So what we actually mean by this notation, this is actually f y given x. So actually we write like that, but it is like x equals to x, y given x equals to small x. And you know the definition of this is like the joint x y comma x, and this is x, so f x x. So this is the way we write conditional density function for y when x equal to x is given. So it means we have to calculate this part. So either I write here yx, so if I writing in the way that yx, because then I have to write here y first and then x, because it's a intersection of these two events, f of xy. Or you can write xy also, but if you are writing xy, then you change like this, here x and here y, so that it is clear to you that you are this first variable is corresponding to x and the second variable is corresponding to y. So we'll see this one. So this is the definition that fx given y, so it is actually xy divided by fx, so it should be y, in the denominator it should be fyy. So to calculate this numerator, you know that the f of xy is already given. And how you calculate this fyy, it is also 1 by 2, and then you substitute and you will get the value. Then we are having this f that for x we are calculating, and for given y, why it is always written y everywhere? It should be y because it's a y equal to y is given like this. And here it is written in the correct sense. fyy y given x is equal to fxxy fxx, because here x equal to x is given, and f of xy is actually 1 plus xy upon 4, and fxx we have already calculated, it is 1 by 2. So if I divide this 1 plus xy by 4 by 1 by 2, I will get this 1 plus xy by 2. So you can see that this is the conditional density function of for y given for y when x equal to x is given, and its value turns out to be 1 plus x y by 2. and this one is not equal to fyy, because fyy we obtained is only 1 by 2. So if these two are not equal, it means there is some dependency between x and y. So we can say that x and y random variable are not independent. So now the concept of independent we will see. So like you remember, this is the cumulative distribution function for the two random variable x and y, and here is this small x and y are the values taken by the random variable x, and y small y is taken by the random variable capital Y, and it is defined by this probability of x capital X less than small x intersection with capital Y less than equal to small y. And from this joint distribution function, we can calculate joint density function just by differentiating partially with respect to x and y of this cumulative joint distribution function of x and y. So if x and y are independent, so I told you that if x and y are independent, then this probability, because it is the definition of this, and we are saying this variable and this random variable are independent, and you know that the this or if two events are there, probability of a intersection b, if a and b are independent, it is like probability of a into probability of b. So here like this is one event and A is like one event B. So and we are saying that X and Y are independent. So it means this event is independent of this event. It means their probability that can be written as the product of this. Their probability of their intersection can be written as product of their probability. And this first product is actually cumulative distribution function of X, and the second one is cumulative distribution function of Y. So if you are having x and y are independent, and this is true only for the case when x and y are independent. If x and y are not independent, then this result will not hold. Similarly, for density function also, like if you are having, this is the joint density function of two random variable x and y, and if x and y are independent, then the joint density function is actually product of the marginal density function of x and y. So if this result is true for two random variable x and y for all values of x, small x and small y, then we say that x and y are independent random variable. So these are the result true only in the case of independent, when you are having x and y are independent random variable. Now the another case is the conditional distribution, that conditional distribution of y for given x equals to small x is actually equal to the distribution of y, then we say that x and y again independent, because x is not affecting the probability of y. Then transformation of two random variables, like if we have one random variable x and another random variable y, and then we want to know what is the new random variable z and how we calculate its mean, variance, or its distribution function, density function, or mass functions. So, so we'll see, like from if we have two random variable, and from these two random variables we are creating another random variable z. So what is the behavior of z? What is its mean? Actually, we are here interested in always in the statistical properties like mean, variance, moment generating functions. So for how we calculate for this z, if it is sum, if it is product, if it is division, like this. So we'll see. Another one, like this is the case, like if this kind of transformation is there, or some bigger transformation you don't know, like some function of x and y, like cos x plus sin x y, or cos x into e raised to power y, like this you can do anything. So here, like z is a value of the small z is the value taken by the new random variable z, which is actually either it's a product of two random variable, or it's a sum of two random variable, or it's any function of two random variable. So whatever small x and small y are value taken by the random variable, and we apply g to it. G is the function, and whatever value of we get, that is actually our small z. So z is taking real values in 1D on the basis of these two x and y. So how we define this event? Like we consider all those sample points as such that the gxs is less than equal to this real number z. If this is true, then this becomes an event. So those sample space small s such that g of capital X s comma capital Y s is less than equal to this real number z, then this is the event. So like because earlier what we had done here, like we have one sample space here, and we have used two random variable. One is taking this sample point to this x, and another one to y. So suppose here is some point, like we can say x and y, and the some sample point small s is mapped to this point. First coordinate value you are getting through this x random variable, and second coordinate value you are getting from this y random variable. And once you have this two random variable, you also created a new random variable z by defining any function like g of x comma y. It can be anything. It can be like x plus y. It can be x into y. And if y is taking non-zero values, so it can be x upon y also. It can be x square into y. So anything. So G definition can take anything. But finally, because these are real numbers, small x and small y, and when you substitute these values here, you will get another real number, and this is the real line from minus infinity to plus infinity. That becomes the range set of the new random variable z, which is a function of these two random variable x and y. So like the event, so this is z less than equal to z, and in this we what we are saying, those x's, like we are talking about xs, that is sample point, and ys another sample point, and the same then it's a g image we will take, because we know that this is a real number, this is a real number, and once we apply we will get some real number, say z we are getting. So for those s, this is less than equal to z. If this value is less than equal to this given particular small z, then that event belongs to this sample space, this one, not sample space, this event is like z capital Z less than equal to z. So it's a collection of those sample points for which g of xs comma ys is less than equal to this small z. So to calculate this probability, we use this x and y belongs to dz, and these are the those small x and y for which g of small x comma small y is less than this small z. So we are collected all those ordered pair x and y such that g of small x comma small y is less than small z, and then for those points we are integrating here. Actually we are integrating, even though if it's a discrete kind we have to take double summation also. And again you can, if you find, if you have your this distribution function, if you differentiate it with respect to the z, then you will get its density function also. So like for the case first we talk about the simple transformation z equals to x plus y. So if z equals to x plus y, because here we cannot show the infinite domain, so this is plotted like this blue region. So if x and y are the values taken by, like if this is some, if this is some point and it is actually x and y, so this I can calculating that the value of z is actually x and y. So z is not any plot value here. Z is some fixed value like x and plus y. So this is like your y and this is your x. You added them and whatever you get, this is your z. So this is the way we define our z. Now you have to calculate the probability. So this is the like z equal to z line, and I have to select all the combination of x and y such that this x plus y, because the transformation is x plus y, is less than this z, or less than or equal to this z. So all the points, like whatever this point is having coordinates, but since it is lying below this x plus y for a given z, then it become the, and we have to find an s for sample points. Those sample points, this is to be true. So you like that this event can be rewritten as like x plus y is less than equal to z, x plus y, but in sense like capital X s and plus y s is less than equal to z. Okay. So here, so like this is we integrate over all possible values of x and y, satisfying this relation for any particular value of z. And then here we are having joint density function of xy and integrating with respect to x and y. And whatever value we will get, it is actually cumulative distribution function of z. So here actually this they are telling this colored region is dz, but it is not like that because they are not able to plot this infinite domain. That's why it's actually below this line all infinite region. Or until unless we have condition like this x is greater than 0 and y is greater than 0 something. But that is also not the situation here because the origin is this one. Okay, so the all points below this line. So that's the, you can see here, here he has taken the limit from minus infinity to plus infinity. So we have to select all those points to select all those points. That is, we have to integrate with respect to that infinite domain lying below this line z equals to x plus y. So in what way we take integrate this? We integrate like this. Here we are integrating with respect to x goes to x goes to minus infinity to plus infinity, and this actually y goes to minus infinity to z minus x, because you cannot take those value of y for which x plus y exceed the z. So you have taken value of y from minus infinity to z minus x. Then only you can take now, because if y is taking value less than z minus x, it means this relation is still satisfying. But if you take any value of y which is greater than z minus x, then this relation is not satisfied. It means that does not belongs to the D. We are talking about the domain of z. Na? So that's why we are having here z minus x. So here you can see this is like this is y equals to minus infinity to this, and this is x equals to minus infinity to x. So here the limit of integration is not constant. Here y equal to z minus x is having variables x, which is also a variable of integration. So we are not able to change the order of integration here, like we were doing earlier. So here we have to integrate this with respect to y first, and then we have to integrate with respect to x. So like then we here this z minus x, now we actually use this transformation y equals to u minus x. So if you use this transformation y equal to u minus x, because this here we are integrating with respect to y, so you know that your dy is actually du, and then when your this y equals to minus infinity, you are getting u is also minus infinity. But when y equals to z minus x, so what is the value of u then? Because u is actually this u minus x. So finally we are getting u minus x. So it means the value of u is z. So you can see that now the variable of integration inside is this is u goes to minus infinity to z, fxy, x remain as it is, and this y is replaced by u minus x du dx. And then it can be rewritten as like this, because here we are integrating with respect to u first, and now the limits of the integration you can see are constant, because z is not a variable x, so it's constant, and u. So now limits of the integration are now constant, so we can change the order of integration, and then you have this minus infinity to z and minus infinity to plus infinity, and this dx du. Then so this is our like this is our actually this is our distribution function, and if we differentiate distribution function with respect to the variable z, we will get our density function. So here so here actually this one is f z f z z is actually this one. So if you differentiate this f z z with respect to z, you will get the density function of the variable z. So you are differentiating it, okay, and after differentiation you will get this, because this is with respect to z, and you will get this. So this actually we remember. This is the way to calculate, because here there is no requirement of doing double integration. So to if you are having a variable z, which is actually defined as x and plus y, only this form, then if the transformation of this kind, then it's if you know the density function of x or density function of y, or the joint density function of x and y, then you can easily calculate this joint density function of z by using this formula fx comma y x u minus x dx, integrating within the limit minus infinity to plus infinity. So this formula we will use for the case when the transformation is x plus y. And if x and y are independent, then it's easy because then it can be written as the product of these two, like fxx and into fyu minus x. So fxx, fyz minus x like this, and you are integrating with respect to x. And if you are aware of this notation also, like when you read this what we call Laplace transform or Fourier transform in your mathematics 3 or maybe in mathematics 2 of BTech course, this is actually known as the convolution. So if you have two function fxz and fyz, and then the convolution of x and yz is denoted by this star, and it is defined by this integration minus infinity to plus infinity fxx fyz minus x dx. But this is true only in the case when x and y are independent. So if your transformation is z is like x plus y, and x and y are independent also, then this integration can give you their joint density function, this joint the density function of this new random variable z, and if they are not independent, then you have to use this formula. Now we go to this distribution, like x is exponential lambda and y is also exponential lambda. So we are having two continuous kind of random variable. One is x, another one is y with parameter lambda, and they are both are exponential. And we have to calculate what is the probability density function of the new random variable z, and z is defined by x plus y. So since the information is provided, x is exponential lambda, that is x is following exponential distribution with parameter lambda. So its density function is this one, fxx equals to lambda e raised to power minus lambda x. Similarly, y is also exponential following a exponential distribution with parameter lambda. So its density function is given by this one. So this is the given information, and we have this information also. So we'll see this one. Another information here it is given, it is independent. So if independent what is given there, then we can use this formula, this one, to calculate a density function of Z. If it is not independent, then we have to use another one. So this information is also given here because they are independent. Then you use this convolution formula to calculate the density function of z. Here z is a capital X plus y. And the convolution is defined as integration this lambda z e raised to power minus lambda u like this, and then you integrate, and after integrate you will get this. So this is one way. Another way is when you have this product. So if you are having product of so this is also a transformation, like then in that case what you will do, because again you have to find the event like z less than equal to this small z, and here you want this x and y is less than equal to small z. It means you are going from x goes to minus infinity to plus infinity, and y goes to minus infinity to x by z, because when y goes is less than z by x, then only you are able to satisfy this, and when y is greater than z by x, then this is not true. It means they does not belong to this event z less than equal to small z. And then this is the way to calculate what we call this density function. Like if you go again transformation, like u equal to xy, then du equal to x dy, and then like this. Another one, if you differentiate it, you will get this one, density function of z. Similarly, if you have another transformation like z equal to y by x, so in that case also you have expecting this kind of event, and then y by x is less than x. So you have to collect those point of y which are less than xz. So here again you can see the y is moving from minus infinity to zx, because if y is taking value more than zx, it cannot belong to this dz, and x is taking minus infinity to plus infinity. And then again substitution, like this y is substituted as ux, and then variable change this dy u d x du, and then after this we will get this one. And that independent case is always like this, because if this and this are independent, then this joint density actually product of their density. Then till now so like it's another big problem. Like earlier you are having only z variable which is a function of x and y. Now you have two variables, z1 and z2, which is a function of x and y, and there is another function, this h, which is a function of this z1 z2, like joint density function of two random variables. So in that case again, because from 2D to you are going here, and then it is this again transformed to somewhere else, like in third domain. So you can generalize this thing, but we are not going beyond this. So, so I'm discussing this because you are aware of all these things, because this may be useful in your future. Mm, Now we have exam on date what? 1st March, and time of exam is around, what is the time? 10 a.m. Abhijit, Arvind ready?
Sir, it's
What
10
is
to
the
11.
time?
10
10
to
to
11.
11. So around 9:30 I will throw a attendance sheet so that I confirm that all of you are present. And 10 I will send this question paper. And around 11 all of you submit your answer sheet through the link. And from 12 I start calling all of you, whatever number you provided earlier to me, and I take your Viva for EC first, because they are less in number, so they will be finished within 1 or 2 hours. A maximum of 10 minutes I will give each and every individual, and I ask 4 questions, all of equal marks, two and a half and two and a half. And on the basis of that, I can give you marks of your Viva. And today I also post two assignment that I already posted in terms of practice questions. I just provided the link so that all of you submit your solution before this one, before exam. You upload your assignments also, because these kind of questions will be in the exam. So I think it is enough for today. And we will meet on the day of exam. And the attendance again I'm going to give to all of you. If you have
Sir,
anything.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Sir, question will be MCQ or subjective?
This time total subjective.
No, sir. In mid same day, I mean 1 mark.
1 mark, 2 mark questions are there, so it's not a big deal whether it's subjective and subjective, no? It is there only.
Okay.
You have to write, no? There is, it's not like you have to write on a sheet, no? Like it's A or B or C.
Yes, sir.
Or you want to like that your CSC department doing, like multiple choice question and
Yes, yes, sir.
ra-
Yes, sir. They are arranging a 10 marks for MCQ. I mean, 10 marks for the multiple choice and 10
Hmm.
marks for the Viva and the 10 marks student conduct.
But like in mathematics, like whatever way you are writing, that is also important. No?
Yes,
Even
sir.
though you know the answer, that is not sufficient in my course. Yeah. So whatever I told you, some of you write instead of writing minus infinity to plus infinity, they may write minus infinity to x, or someone write in place of x y, or someone like who is copying, he don't understand whether it is x or n, so someone may write in place of x n. So for them I will cut marks. In
Okay.
objective nothing is like all then in objective, if you want, then I have to give like more number of questions so that you have less time to cheat and something. And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are assuming that the assignment will be subjective and the test will be objective type.
no, no, here actually this midterm examination is also subjective.
Okay,
Matlab
sir.
like we did in this class test.
Okay.
Some question objectives are there, but not all. So that I can differentiate. No, otherwise it is
Uh,
difficult. No, I cannot give excellent to all of you. So some of you will get D, or some of you will get B, something, something. No.
okay.
Okay. Okay, then I'm leaving right now.